Everything you've been taught about money is a lie. Not just a simple misunderstanding, but a deliberate deception designed to keep you trapped. And the most shocking part? Your own brain is the warden of this prison, actively working to keep you poor. Today, we're not just scratching the surface of wealth advice. We're diving deep into the dark psychology of money, exposing the mental traps that have been sabotaging your financial life without you even knowing it. For years, I've studied the patterns of human behavior and the psychology of success, and what I've uncovered is a blueprint of subconscious programming that separates the wealthy from everyone else. This isn't about stock tips or get-rich-quick schemes. This is about rewriting the very code in your mind. If you've ever felt like you're fighting an invisible force, stuck in a cycle of just getting by, then what I'm about to share will be the key to your freedom. Stay with me because we're about to uncover the truth your brain has been hiding from you. The chains that hold you back were forged in your childhood. They're invisible, silent, but incredibly strong. This is your invisible programming. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing beliefs about money from your parents, your community, and the media. Think about the phrases you heard over and over. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy and dishonest. These aren't just words. They are commands being written directly onto your subconscious mind. Your young brain, trying to make sense of the world, accepted these as fundamental truths. So now, as an adult, even if you consciously want to build wealth, your subconscious mind is running an old, corrupted program. It tells you that pursuing money is difficult, stressful, and maybe even immoral. It creates a reality where opportunities seem scarce and effort feels futile. This subconscious conditioning is why you might feel a strange sense of guilt when you have a little extra cash, or why you might self-sabotage a great financial opportunity. It's not you. It's the ghost in your machine, the old programming ensuring you stay within the safe, but poor reality it was taught. You're living out a script written by others, a script designed for scarcity, not abundance. To break free, you first have to see the chains. This deep-seated programming gives birth to a powerful monster, fear. Your financial decisions are not driven by logic. They are hijacked by fear. The fear of failure is a big one. You see a promising investment, a new business idea, or a chance to ask for a raise. Your logical mind says this could change everything, but then the fear kicks in. The voice of your subconscious whispers, "What if you lose it all? What if you look like a fool?" It's safer to do nothing, so you don't invest. You don't start the business. You stay in the dead-end job that you hate because it feels predictable and safe. This isn't safety. It's a cage built from fear. Then there's the fear of loss, which is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of a gain. This is why people will hold on to a losing stock for way too long, hoping it will recover rather than cutting their losses and moving on. They are paralyzed by the pain of admitting a mistake. And let's not forget the fear of judgment. What will my friends and family think if I try something different and fail? This fear keeps you small, preventing you from taking the calculated risks necessary for significant growth. Your brain, in its attempt to protect you from potential pain, is actively steering you away from wealth. It prefers the familiar misery of poverty over the uncertain journey to success. Now, let's talk about the social trap. Humans are wired for conformity. In our evolutionary past, being part of the tribe meant survival. Being cast out meant death. That ancient wiring is still active in your brain, and it's devastating your finances. You look around at your friends, family, and colleagues. You see their habits. They live paycheck to paycheck, complain about their bosses, and spend their weekends on mindless consumption. And because you're wired to fit in, you subconsciously copy their behavior. You adopt their broke habits because it feels normal. It feels like belonging. Going against the grain feels dangerous. If you start saving aggressively, investing, or building a side business, you stand out. You might face ridicule or skepticism. Who do you think you are? That'll never work. Your brain registers this social pressure as a threat. To avoid the discomfort of being different, you retreat back into the comfortable patterns of the crowd. You're trapped in a collective mindset of mediocrity. The brutal truth is that if your social circle is broke, your brain will do everything in its power to make you broke too, just to ensure you fit in. You are literally sacrificing your financial future for social acceptance, and most of the time, you don't even realize you're making that trade. So how do the wealthy escape these mental traps? They undergo a radical rich psychology shift. It's not that they're smarter or work harder, necessarily. It's that they have fundamentally rewired their brain's relationship with money and risk. First, they operate on a different time horizon. While the poverty mindset focuses on immediate survival, the next paycheck, the next bill, the wealth mindset is built on long-term thinking. They aren't thinking about next week. They're planning for the next decade. This allows them to practice the superpower of delayed gratification. They are willing to sacrifice small comforts today for massive freedom tomorrow. They invest their money and time into assets that will grow, rather than spending it on liabilities that provide a fleeting hit of pleasure. Second, and this is crucial, they see risk differently. For the conditioned brain, risk is a threat to be avoided at all costs. For the wealthy mind, calculated risk is an opportunity. They understand that there is no reward without risk. They don't gamble blindly. They educate themselves, analyze opportunities, and take controlled leaps. They understand that the biggest risk of all is taking no risk and staying exactly where you are. This isn't about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and acting anyway, because their desire for long-term freedom is stronger than their short-term fear of loss or judgment. They have trained their brain to see opportunity where others only see danger. Breaking free from this dark psychology requires more than just positive thinking. It requires active mental reprogramming. This is the final and most important step. First comes awareness. You must become a detective of your own mind. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings around money. When you feel anxious about investing, ask why. When you hesitate to ask for what you're worth, trace that feeling back to its root. This awareness is the light that exposes the shadows. Second, implement micro-habits. You can't change decades of programming overnight. Start small. Automate a tiny investment each week. Read 10 pages of a financial book each day. Spend 5 minutes visualizing your wealthy future. These small, consistent actions are like a chisel, slowly chipping away at the old conditioning and carving new neural pathways. Third, you must curate your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is pulling you down, you need to expand it. Listen to podcasts from successful entrepreneurs. Join online communities of investors. Immerse your brain in the language and mindset of abundance. Your environment is the soil in which your new mindset will either grow or wither. Finally, discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishment. Motivation will fade, but discipline is what carries you through. It's the act of choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's the force that breaks the final chains. What we've discussed today goes beyond money. It's about reclaiming control over your own mind. The invisible scripts, the fears, the social pressures, these are the bars of a psychological prison, but you hold the key. By understanding these dark psychological forces, you can begin to dismantle them, piece by piece. You can choose to stop being a passive victim of your programming and become the active architect of your reality. The path isn't easy, but it is possible. You have the power to rewrite your story. If this message resonated with you, if you feel ready to start your own mind shift, show your support by hitting the like button, sharing this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribing for more deep dives into the psychology of success. And to declare your commitment to this change, comment Mind Shift down below. Thank you for watching.